Hello and welcome to this special Year in Review edition of Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Patterson. Today we'll take a look back at the year 2011 and reflect upon our collective experiences, successes, and challenges right here in Volusia County. I'll have the opportunity to look back on some noteworthy news items we've discussed through the year. We'll hear selected reports from Volusia Here and Now reporter Joanne Magley, Business Beat reporter Michelle Coates, and Health Matters reporter Stephanie Strong. We'll also take a look back at specially selected in-studio interviews with our very own Community Information Director, Dave Byron. So grab your hot cocoa and a cookie and stick around for this special edition of Volusia Magazine, Year 2011 in Review. Stay tuned. The Volusia County Council kicked off the new year on January 6 by swearing in a new member and 3 returning members. Joyce Cusack, a former state representative, was sworn in as Volusia County's new at-large member. She's no stranger to politics, having served in the Florida House of Representatives from 2000 to 2008. Council members who also took their oaths of office were re-elected County Council members Andy Kelly from District 1 in West Volusia, Patricia Northey from District 5 in Southwest Volusia, and Joy Alexander from District 3 in Southeast Volusia. Protecting our environment is always crucial, and this year the County Council expanded an incentive-based voluntary program to promote construction of efficient residential and commercial buildings in Volusia County. The incentive program is based on the Florida Green Building Coalition, FGBC, Green Building Standards, and the U.S. Green Building Coalition Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, or LEED programs. In addition, the Volusia County Council endorsed a plan to double the number of artificial reefs off of Volusia County's coast from 45 to 90 as quickly as possible. To date, more than 64 artificial reefs have been constructed. Much of the reef material is provided to the county at no charge by concrete pipe and precast manufacturing firms. The artificial reefs are popular destinations for sport, charter, and commercial fishing and diving. Funding for the artificial reefs comes from Volusia County's Port Authority reserves and doesn't affect property tax rates. The East Central Florida Rail Trail, which will run through Volusia County, received an honor this year. The 50-mile rail trail is one of just 2 Florida trails that was highlighted in a federal report outlining the country's most promising ways to reconnect Americans to the natural world. The report, part of President Barack Obama's America's Great Outdoors Initiative, is designed to get people outdoors, promote tourism, and create outdoor recreation jobs. Only 2 trails were selected from each state. This year, construction began on the East Central Florida Rail Trail, which will stretch 52 miles through southern Volusia County and northern Brevard County and would form the southern boundary of the St. Johns River to the Sea Loop that one day will stretch from St. Augustine to Titusville through West Volusia County.
I'm Andy Kelly with the Volusia County Council. The St. Johns River is one of the gems of West Volusia County. This beautiful waterway is a haven for manatees and a mecca for fishermen and boaters. You can support the river by buying a St. Johns River specialty license plate. For each plate that is purchased, $25 is sent to the St. Johns River Alliance, a not-for-profit group that helps conservation, education, research, and cleanup efforts of the waterway. You can purchase a St. Johns River license plate at your local tag and title office. Thank you.
And now it's time for Volusia Here and Now highlights with reporter Joanne Magley.
From historic attractions in Volusia County to outdoor adventures to people who are making a difference in the community and the world, I have the opportunity to cover a wide range of human interest stories in my Here and Now reports. Now, here's a look back at some of those stories. Severe drought in Volusia County helped to ignite dozens of wildfires in May and June. On June 13th, the fire danger was so extreme that Volusia County Fire Services activated a command center from the Fire Training Center on Tiger Bay Road in Daytona Beach. During the peak of the wildfire activities, crews from Volusia County, the Department of Forestry, and city departments battled 80 wildfires throughout the county. The command center was demobilized after 12 days of operations as the fire activity in the county greatly subsided due to heavy rains. The Volusia Land Acquisition and Management Program conducts a number of outdoor learning adventures on the county's conservation lands.
This is a fox, and this is a bobcat.
While many of us don't get the opportunity to see foxes and bobcats in the wild, Bonnie Carey, an outreach coordinator with Volusia County Land Acquisition and Management, teaches us how to look for signs of wildlife, whether it's during a hike in the woods or a stroll in your own backyard. On this particular day,
When we walk, let's walk on this side. Don't walk on the sand, because this is where the tracks are. So if we walk on them, we won't be able to see them, okay?
she was teaching a group of homeschooled children and their parents how to search for signs of wildlife. You can tell what types of animals have been in a particular place by the tracks and scat they leave behind. Bonnie has an extensive collection of clay casts that capture the tracks of Florida birds and animals. And during this outdoor adventure, the kids got to find tracks and make their own casts. The Volusia County Land Acquisition and Management Division offers a number of classes and outings on conservation lands throughout the year. Volusia County has a rich history. In DeLand, much of that history is credited with the town's namesake. The Henry DeLand House is one of the greatest treasures in Volusia County. The house is named for the city's founder, Henry DeLand. In 1876, the baking soda magnate from Fairport, New York, came to West Volusia and fell in love with the area. He was so impressed that he bought up several thousand acres of property and placed ads in New York papers saying he would guarantee any of the settlers that would come here and buy land from him against any kinds of losses that might occur on their crops. It was an attractive offer, and people came from across the northern states. After the people settled here, several deep freezes hit the area. After that, Henry DeLand was bankrupt, and he decided to go back to New York. He didn't get the chance to build his own house, but instead sold the plans to the house he designed to the area's first attorney. After several ownerships, Mr. and Mrs. Conrad purchased the house and shortly after World War II donated it to the city of DeLand with the understanding it be turned into a museum honoring Mr. DeLand, the city's founder. The Marine Science Center in Ponce Inlet is a gateway to the marine world in Volusia County, featuring live sea life exhibits as well as sea turtle and bird rehabilitation facilities. The Marine Science Center has helped thousands of sick or injured sea turtles and seabirds. With 2 rehabilitation centers, visitors can actually see animals nursed to recovery. Michael Brothers, manager of the Marine Science Center, likens the center to an emergency room with dedicated rehabilitation specialists. The center is also home to aquariums, classroom laboratories, and some very interactive exhibits. One of the newest features is a touch pool where you can actually touch sea creatures like stingrays or sea urchins. The 1,400-gallon touch pool is home to cow-nosed rays, Atlantic stingrays, and a variety of invertebrates. Special floating trays allow visitors to handle smaller animals safely. Some mechanical engineering students at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University have put their book knowledge to a practical and very humanitarian use for an orphanage in Haiti. Mark Compere, an assistant professor of mechanical engineering at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University and part of the Clean Energy teaching tract, remembers how devastating it was to watch news coverage of the earthquake in January of 2010. He knew his students could make a difference. They started their own club, met on their own time, and set out to design and build a water purification system, taking factors into consideration such as depth of the well and how much water each person at the orphanage would need. There's no electricity in Haiti, so solar panels were used to operate a well pump that sent water to a filtration system and then clean water to the orphanage. The Embry-Riddle Project Haiti team consists of students and professors. The students put their project to the test during an August trip to Haiti to install the purification system. The Embry-Riddle students are already preparing for their next group project, a water purification system that can fit in a backpack and be taken to various sites during a disaster. Well, that's it for this look back at some of my here and now stories of 2011. Next year, I'll show you more of the great offerings right here in Volusia County. Happy New Year!
Hello, my name is Colonel Calvin Wimbish. I am currently serving at ISAF headquarters in Kabul, Afghanistan. And I'd like to say happy holidays to my son Chad, as well as his beautiful 7-year-old daughter, my granddaughter Jade. Hope you all are doing well. Happy holidays, and hope to see you soon.
I'm Michelle Coates with the Business Beat. I hope you've enjoyed some of the stories we've brought to you this year. I've certainly enjoyed bringing them to you. From Daytona Beach International Airport's runway rehab project and its new free business center, to Embry-Riddle's new aviation complex, we've certainly covered quite a few aviation-related stories. We even took to the skies to cover the skydiving industry. I hope you've enjoyed a glimpse into some of the unique businesses of Volusia County. Here are a few favorites. We were there when local leaders, along with representatives from the University of Central Florida, celebrated at the official ribbon cutting for the new business incubator at Daytona Beach International Airport. Today, the incubator boasts several tenants. We were at Daytona Beach International Airport throughout the 384-day, $20 million runway rehab project. The runway project, which covers nearly 40 acres, created 300 indirect jobs with $10.9 million in income. The nearly 5,400 truckloads of asphalt and nearly 1,400 truckloads of concrete, amongst other materials and services, totaling over $14 million, were bought locally.
1, 2, 3.
We were at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, a major tenant of Daytona Beach International Airport, to celebrate the opening of its new multi-million-dollar aviation complex, the $22 million James Hagedorn Aviation Complex. It was built by Perry McCall Construction, a local company whose work crews numbered 120 per day at the peak of construction. Nearly 75% of the work was done by local workers.
The airport relies heavily on Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. They're the largest aviation and aeronautical university in the world, and they're actually one of the largest tenants at the airport. They generate over $1.5 million in revenue for us as a tenant. Embry-Riddle generates about $444 million in economic revenue to the county. So as an institution, it is very important to the county as well as the airport.
Skydiving is big business in Volusia County, a $70 million a year industry, particularly in DeLand, where a number of industries are based, including Performance Design, the Drop Zone, United Parachute Technologies, Merlin Suits, Sky Systems, Alti2, and many more. I was thrilled to take the jump. In an area best known for beaches, auto racing, and motorcycles, area manufacturers also make parachutes, specialty paints and coatings, electronic switches for railroads and underwater connectors, foam insulation, and defense homeland security systems. We visited more than 70 exhibitors who were at the Ocean Center for the Volusia Manufacturers Association Expo. Volusia Manufacturers Association, or VMA, members participated to benefit from the exposure to public, potential customers, vendors, and to each other. More than 400 businesses in Volusia and Flagler counties are involved in manufacturing. Most companies either machine parts for others or assemble parts. A few companies make a finished retail product, including boats, sunglasses, sunscreen lotions, mattresses, and sheds. Some are more high profile than others. Did you know that the Whack-A-Mole and other amusement games are developed and manufactured here? We headed to Bob's Space Racers to find out more about the iconic Whack-A-Mole history in Volusia County. The local manufacturer owns 22 patents and 68 different amusement games and has customers in over 100 countries.
I hope the Business Beat has offered you a glimpse into the world of business in Volusia County. Have a great new year, and we'll see you in 2012.
And now let's toss your attention to health reporter Stephanie Strong with the Volusia County Health Department.
It's been a busy year for the Volusia County Health Department, from discovering a banned pesticide in some private drinking water wells to launching a major physical activity and nutrition campaign to improve the health of our children. Public health is in the limelight in our county. The Volusia County Health Department is collecting water from private drinking wells in the DeLand Country Club Estates area after some of the wells had positive tests for dieldrin. What is dieldrin?
Dieldrin is a pesticide that used to be used decades ago and originally was used on agriculture lands to eliminate insects from crops. And later it was used as a termite treatment. It's not been used since the mid-'80s anywhere, but it still lingers in the soil.
What is being done?
Well, we're continuing to test more and more private wells in order to determine the extent of the contamination of the private wells in this neighborhood. Once if any of the private wells test positive, then folks are being offered a filter for their water or a connection to city water or even bottled water in the interim.
Environmental health specialists with the Volusia County Health Department are tasked with collecting water samples for testing.
Well, they have special containers they receive from the Department of Health Laboratory in Jacksonville, Florida, and they take the containers out to the site, and after getting permission from the property owner, they locate exactly where the well is. It's important that they take a sample from the well itself and not through any kind of homeowner's filter equipment or, say, water, softening equipment, because they want to get an actual representative sample of what's coming exactly out of the well. First thing they do is, once they locate the well, is then they purge the well, which means you open up the tap and let the water run for a few minutes to get a good sample from down below, from out of the bottom of the well. Then once they do that, then they actually fill the containers, the special containers, with the water sample, and then it's put into a cooler and refrigerated. Staff are very dedicated and they're highly trained. Because beyond just pulling the sample, we do a GPS location of every well. So we have a record of it and we make maps. And these maps help us plot out where we're finding the dieldrin in the wells. We had a team of 8 people out there, not only helping sampling, but also going door to door and handing out 250 flyers door to door with information to the residents about what we're doing, how we're sampling, and what the status is of the program. And we also have dedicated staff in-house that are maintaining our website, where any citizens and other officials can go and see information about the map of where we're sampling, where we currently are, and information about dieldrin, and protecting your well, testing your well.
Hello there, I'm Bonnie Sorensen. We tested these and they were positive. We tested these and they were negative. But then because of that, we were asked to test an additional 20 within a half mile of this area. Okay. So we spot checked, and yours happened to be one of the spots.
How long will it take to get the
2 or 3 weeks before we get the results.
We care very much. That's our primary mission, is to check people's wells and make sure that they're safe to drink. And it's a big task because there's literally hundreds of private wells in the area, so it takes time to do this. But we're going to see it out to the end and make sure that no one's drinking water they shouldn't be drinking.
For additional information, please visit volusiahealth.com. With childhood obesity a major concern nationwide, some Volusia County leaders came together to tackle the problem with a campaign called Let's Move Volusia's Youth. Kids at this basketball fundamentals camp are getting plenty of exercise, but that's not the case for all kids. Since 1980, nationwide, obesity prevalence among children and adolescents has almost tripled, and Volusia County leaders are coming together to tackle the problem.
We're excited to launch the Let's Move Volusia's Youth initiative. This is the first time that our hospitals, our school district, and the health department have joined forces to spearhead an effort to address the epidemic, really, of childhood obesity, and we need everybody's involvement. This is really going to literally take a village.
Using the Magic Forest Playground at Nova Community Park in Ormond Beach as a perfect backdrop, leaders from the Volusia County Health Department, Volusia County Schools, Florida Hospital Volusia Flagler, and Halifax Health came together to encourage physical activity and good nutrition.
Ormond Beach is honored that you have selected our park and our area for this announcement. We put a lot of emphasis on our youth because not only are they our future, they are our present.
This partnership patterns after First Lady Michelle Obama's Let's Move National Physical Activity and Nutrition Initiative.
Our teachers, staff, and administrators are very dedicated to improving the health of our students. Throughout the year, our schools offer healthy food choices and promote physical activity.
This is the first local project bringing all community partners together in a coalition to address the problem of childhood obesity and inactivity in Volusia County.
Really excited you're in this because it indicates an interest in this. The activities toward health or activities that lead toward obesity pay off in positive and negative ways in many, many years. It's hard to visualize that.
We all know that this is a huge problem in our country, and we want to be able to make a difference for the children in our community in Volusia County. We obviously know that ensuring our children's health is probably the best legacy that we can leave them.
And a special recognition for some talented youngsters. These Pine Trail and Pathway Elementary School students successfully participated in the President's Challenge Physical Fitness Test. This is a national program that measures the physical fitness in kids and teens, a great example of getting Volusia's youth moving in the right direction. For more information, please visit our newly developed website, letsmovevolusiasyouth.org. Take our survey and find out how you can join the effort to make Volusia's youth the healthiest in the state. And the year ended with some magic, gingerbread magic. For Volusia Magazine and on behalf of the Volusia County Health Department, your guide to better health, I'm Public Information Officer Stephanie Strong.
And now let's step into the studio to join Community Information Director Dave Byron for a look back at some of his specially selected in-studio interviews.
Well, thank you, Amber. It's been another very busy year for Volusia County government. We had lots to talk about with lots of people. Let's take a look at some of the people I interviewed this year. Joyce Cusack is the newest member of the Volusia County Council, having taken the oath of office in January. Although she's new to the County Council, she's not new to county government or to political office. Mrs. Cusack served 8 years in the Florida legislature.
I think that you attend more of the events on a local level. I think that you have an opportunity to actually see people in action when you're on the local level. So there's a lot of difference in serving, and I think that I'm beginning to think that it is one of the joys and pleasures of serving at a local level is the fact that you have the opportunity to have such interaction with the people you serve.
The wants and needs of our young people are a major priority for the Volusia County Council, as demonstrated by the County Council's support of Children's Week. Hey, it's been a while since we've talked about some of the issues facing our children today, so we're very pleased to have with us in the studio today Dixie Morgeese. She's the Executive Director of the Healthy Start program.
Luckily, our kids are doing good, but there are some challenges that we face, especially when Florida's budget and economy is suffering.
Right.
Obviously, we have some concerns about education, about funding of education, funding of the vital programs and services. Last year, our Healthy Families program, which is a child abuse and neglect prevention program, took a 28% cut.
The drug court on May 17th marked its 15th year by celebrating the success of people who are drug-free and likely not to return to the court system. With us in the studio today is Circuit Court Judge Joseph Will, one of the judges who presides over drug court.
The Volusia County Council has always shown more common sense in this area than virtually any other governmental entity I've come across. They're miles and light years ahead of the state government in recognizing that you can save money and you can save lives and souls by getting engaged in treatment with some people instead of trying to use the old-fashioned incarceration model.
While most taxpayers don't see the county's jail operation, it's one of the most expensive components of the county budget. So today we'll give you a glimpse of what it's like to manage the county's inmate population. Our guest in the studio was Marilyn Chandler Ford. She's the director of Volusia County's Correction Division.
Well, in some past years we've talked about mental health and drugs. Those continue.
Right.
I would say one of the changes with substance abuse is we are seeing a lot of pills, which is very concerning.
Right.
And we are anticipating, although we've not seen it yet, veterans. And we are curious, as the wind down of some of the conflict, what that may bode for us in terms of individuals coming into custody who have a military background, but perhaps have not been able to readjust to society as well, which will be very unfortunate, but that will be a special need population.
You know, the United Way is the one charitable organization that Volusia County government endorses and encourages its employees to support. That's because the United Way supported agencies provide such a wide variety of services that something like 1 out of 3 people will be helped in one way or another by a United Way agency. Our guest in the studio is Ray Salazar. He's the executive director of the Volusia-Flagler United Way.
County government's leadership has always said, you know what, it's important to participate. You know, we as we manage our own internal infrastructure, it's still time to look at the community's needs and going forward. United Way is a great way to do it. It's an efficient way to do it. The money that's raised here stays here so that we can address needs that the county and the United Way have come to be real partners in being able to address.
As we approach the peak of the holiday season, this is a good time for a reminder on how to be safe during the holiday season. We're very pleased to have with us in the studio today the Sheriff of Volusia County, Ben Johnson.
Be aware of your surroundings. If you go to a couple of stores and you keep seeing the same people behind you, be aware of that. Now start being a little more vigilant about what you're doing. Pay attention. You get into a crowded mall, you may not know what's going on, but if you'll open your eyes, you can help yourself to keep yourself from becoming a victim.
With us today for a recap of the year that's coming to a close and the new year that's right around the corner, we're very pleased to have with us in the studio our Volusia County Chair, Frank Bruno.
We're always concerned about unfunded mandates.
Right.
You know, when the state is providing a service and they don't do it anymore, they don't fund it anymore, it falls on the shoulders of county governments and local governments to pick up the pieces. So we're always keeping an eye on those types of things. No question about it, we've got to look at the next couple of months with the legislature going in.
And with that, Amber, we'll go back to you. Happy holidays and Happy New Year, everyone.
Thanks, Dave, and thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about our program, just give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org. Don't forget to listen to Volusia Today, Volusia County Government's public information radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. And finally, we'd like to invite you to the next Volusia County Council meeting, which is scheduled for Thursday, January 5th in the County Council Chambers in DeLand. Public participation is welcome. You can call us for more information. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Patterson. Have a great evening.